Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our special events tonight. It's a truck racing event at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We will be kicking off, joining in on the practice session here shortly. Thanks for all who have already tuned in the chat. Glad to be hanging out with you. Leave a comment where you're watching from and stay tuned.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Grassroots Racing. As Mo is getting situated because we changed her setup once again. She's always learning something new for everyone. We're at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Legacy trucks, which everyone has expressed their concerns and worries for tonight's race. It is going to take some patience. As you could just see, number 54 right there, he got a little squirrely coming out of turn 4. The trucks are a little difficult to handle if you don't get it just right. And to add to some of the stuff that we're learning, we have not figured out how to get them to talk through the new setup. So that probably won't happen tonight. By Friday, though, we'll get it all set where you can talk to the drivers and whatnot. But me and Mo are here. I'm not racing tonight, just hanging out. Give somebody for Mo to talk to.
Awesome. Thanks for joining in. We have quite a few that have tuned out, so I want to give a quick shout out. Thanks for joining tonight. We are in the practice session with about 8 minutes left to go. We've had a couple people do a couple of laps, so we'll tune in. We still have some coming over and joining in the practice session. And I did see the audio is very low, so we'll work on that. Let me know. We're going to do a quick adjustment here. And how about now? Does that sound a little bit better?
What's going on, Samuel?
Thank you, Mr. Snake Eyes.
Oh, we all know that's John from work. He ain't gonna call him Mr. Snake Eyes.
Thanks, John. Still learning everybody's name.
Yeah, we're hoping the lobby fills out. The reason why we do these community events is so that way we can bring everybody together and remove that pressure of them points races. Because I know we're racing for money every Friday night, so that sometimes stresses people out and makes them not want to come in or really try. I'm sorry. Again, we're trying to figure it all out. Anyway, as I was saying, we hold these league events on Wednesday nights just to bring everybody out. It was community voted last season on Wednesdays, and then we built season 2 really quickly. And so we just throw in random races. Like we're actually probably move the schedule up next week because we only spread it out because of the holiday weekend. But the next community event will be literally a demolition race. You're going to crash into each other, and the last man standing wins. So this is kind of the same idea, but again, more structured. So if you are just getting into iRacing or, are afraid to race with us or just watching, trying to get your feet wet, please, these Wednesday night races are probably the easiest thing to get into. As you can see, our roster was filled out pretty good last Friday. Tonight is looking a little bit more rough, but it is in the middle of the week, so we're going to try to have fun with it either way. So like we were saying before, these trucks and track is free as soon as you sign up for iRacing. So that's why we went with this combination. I know a lot of people are, especially in the league, are eager to try different things and whatnot. They're pretty much over the ARCA cars. But just like natural progression, once you get out of circle track, short track with the street stocks and the mini stocks, you'll move into the ARCA car. So we're following the natural progression here at Grassroots Racing. We didn't do any street stocks at the first season because you got to go through that to get out of the rookie license anyway. So you grind that away a little bit, and then you get into a different license class. So I just wanted to start with the ARCA cars because really that's where I'm at right now. But as our league grows and as we get comfortable in these cars, I think we're all getting ready to move into something faster. And these trucks are a good example of just because it's fast doesn't mean it's easy to drive.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out. I think looking at the comments of some of our drivers tonight in preparation for tonight's race, I think it's going to be a little interesting. It sounds like these cars, while they are, yes, super fast, they're also a little bit more difficult to drive. So I think we're going to see maybe some really great skill set, or we might see a couple incidents here and there. But I think overall it's going to be an interesting race tonight. We have just 3 minutes left to go in practice, and then we'll head into qualifying here soon. Ooh, see, we did see a little bit of shake on that practice run for number 3, Kevin Green. He got a little squirrely there, but cleaned it up after he hit the wall. So hopefully we can see a lot of that where we're able to clean up any of those kind of missteps throughout the evening.
And as we end the near of the practice session, we are not the ones to start begging and whatnot, but there is a donation link. I know Mo doesn't speak about it quite a bit because it is something new, and it helps out the league. It's not for us personally. This is all a passion project. We're here to have fun, but it pays for these drivers to get more practice sessions, longer race seasons, more different things, and I think joking around with some of the guys at work, maybe talk to some of the drivers. You can probably buy sponsors. They'll put, your name or your face or whatever you want on these cars. We have full control over the paint jobs and whatnot. So I think it'd be a cool little fun aspect of it all just to throw it out there. And speaking of the drivers, we've been working effortlessly behind the scenes for our YouTube videos that will be coming out soon over some of our key drivers that took the time out to sit through an interview. And you'll get to meet some of these people that are just driving around the track and why they're here. They went through a little interview style, little fun video, and I'm planning on releasing them in the upcoming weeks.
For sure, I think car number 5 will definitely do well. We have just less than a minute to go, so we see everybody kind of heading into the pits. We'll probably take a quick commercial break now as we head into qualifying, and then we will be back in about a minute or so. All right, so we are done with our practice session tonight. We'll be jumping over into qualifying right now. As these drivers get lined up, we'll try to key in and, watch each of our drivers tonight. Every now and then I'm not always as quick, so we may miss a few here and there, but we'll try to give a quick little preview of each driver. So tonight we are going to start off with number 10, Colton Keller, doing his qualifying lap.
Yeah, I believe this is Mr. Keller's first race with Grassroots Racing. I don't think I've seen that name before. So we'll be watching him pretty close. I think in practice he was in second, coming around and just hot lapping it.
And we're jumping over to number 5, Scott. Looks like he has a new paint job on the truck tonight. Looking pretty clean there.
Thank you, Samuel. I thought so. I wasn't sure if we've seen him in here before. But this is a regular here at Grassroots Racing. I should have brought up the points. I'll get it by the end of tonight. But it's either Samuel or Scott right behind me in points racing tonight. So he's a very good contender, very steady on the steering wheel there, and has done a lot of work behind the scenes.
For sure. We're going to hop on over to number 6, Nicholas Sutton. Looks like he may not be qualifying just yet, or we did miss him. So we're going to hop on over to number 10, Colton Keller. And one last shot for Willis or David. So it looks like we spent a little bit too much time on our first few. But as we round out qualifying, we will head into the race here shortly. We'll give everybody a chance to do qualifying if they haven't yet. We just missed them. And then they'll start lining up for the race.
Yeah, that's right. You can see them pop up over here on the leaderboard. Our time to beat is Colton Keller with a 31.9. And Scott is right behind him. If he just any amount of time, he could have been right there on pole. So it's going to be a tight race up there in the front. Also, with Willis is right behind everybody. So it's a tight group already. You can see developing on the leaderboard there.
All right, so we are actually tuning into number 3, Kevin Green, for his qualifying lap. Took him just a sec. So it seemed like it may have been a little bit of technical difficulties as he had left and then rejoined. But he's doing his qualifying, and then we should be wrapping up. Does look like number 6, Nicholas, is no longer going to be racing tonight, but we'll give just a little bit more time through qualifying, see if we can see some there. Does look like number 3, Kevin, had a little bit of a rough time on that qualifying lap, but he's going to give it another go here. And once we wrap up with qualifying, we'll jump into the racing lineup.
Yeah, we're not having quite the turnout that we wanted to tonight, but that's okay. It's a Wednesday night, right before the holiday. Um, so, recommend your friends. We put a lot of effort in, and we want to put on a show for you guys. And we can't do it without racers. You can only listen to me or Mo so much. So, it looks like we are unfortunately going to have a race with only 5 trucks. Yeah, speaking of cold tires, you do got to give a chance. Your first out lap, you never want to hit it too hard, or you're gonna have a bunch of problems, as we've seen there from car number 3. But it happens to the best of us. These trucks are difficult to handle. As we wrap up qualifying here, we'll advance the session and get these trucks on the grids. All right, so the cars should be coming out for a sight lap. Like I said, we didn't have the turnout like we wanted to. Should still be entertaining enough. We'll keep it close and let's get these trucks around this track. We got 75 laps at Charlotte.
And we are off with a pace car leading the pack right now. Uh, we do have up, kind of going through our roster here tonight. We have number 10 in first, Colton Keller. Right behind him is number 5, Scott Wilson. Coming up right behind is Willis Gomez, number 54, and number 88, David Bryant. And we are green. The pace car is off. We're going green. We see number 10 give it a good throttle there to try to stay on the top. He did cut inside a little bit too much. These trucks are a little bit loose, and so immediately we see Scott, number 5, take that lead position.
Yeah, I think what we just seen right there from truck number 10 is he was trying to give him room, just trying to get comfortable racing with each other, because like we were saying before, this is Mr. Keller's first time out with us, just trying to get a feel for everybody and giving people space. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's 75 laps here at this race, so it's anybody's race. You can't win it on turn 1, and so we should see them just get steady here as they start to spread out, and hopefully nobody drops off too much. But I think running wide open all night, 75 laps, you're going to have to probably stop for some tires or something. So there's going to be a little bit of pit strategy in this as we get into the super speedways for the rest of our points racing as well. That's where you start running out of gas if you're in front or if you're not tucked in with anybody. And as these trucks get spread out, we'll probably see a lot of that.
I do think something we're going to notice as we go into these longer tracks, these speedways, the short tracks, when they would pit too early or anything, then they, were being lapped 2 or 3 times, had a lot of ground to cover. But I feel like we're still going to run into that same thing with a lot of ground to cover just because the track is so large. They may only be down 1 lap, but it's still a lot to go. Do you think having that racing background and doing this so far, is it easier to catch up on the short tracks or the long tracks?
My answer would be the long tracks, just because there's so much that can happen. The short tracks, you get down so many, and then it feels like you're just treading water at some points. Maybe you're not fast enough to keep up with anybody or change positions, and it gets real tight through there. These longer tracks, you have more opportunity to catch up. As we can see right here with, who is that? That's Willie's. Willie's coming up behind him in car number 54. Seeing him come right up there by Scott as they pull away from the rest of the pack. Like I said, I think the other trucks are starting to pace themselves, so we've got a little bit of a battle here. Willie's has been sorry, I'm still learning how to pronounce his name. Willis is still growing in our league. He did no oval racing when he first came in here, and he's done nothing but learn and get better. I think it was Bristol, me and him came into a few encounters, so seeing him grow as a driver is pretty neat as we see him take on one of our top contenders out of Grassroots racing.
For sure. And it does look like Samuel shares your same sentiments that these long tracks are a little bit easier to gain that ground back. We have a tight race here, though, between Scott and Willis.
As you see Willis come down there, he tried to look on the inside. Scott held him off. He held more speed into that corner, but it may slow him on the exit, and that gives Willis another opportunity to get lined up. But Willis is taking it pretty easy by staying in the draft and then attacking. Where people fall off a lot is they get overzealous. They'll come down real early and then think that they have enough steam to pass them. As we come through the tri-oval part of Charlotte here, this is going to get interesting as we get into the braking zone. Okay, they're being respective. Willis did get down on that apron. It's going to upset the truck a little bit, so he had to let off, I'm sure. As they come down the back straight, Scott is just staying right where he needs to be, up there at the top. These trucks carry a lot of momentum, and you got to be real steady. So Willis back there messing around with the wheel, trying to keep the truck under control is really going to affect his performance.
As we are rounding out lap 9, heading into lap 10 of our 75 lap race tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we're going to key on over to number 88, David. See how he's doing tonight.
Yeah, David is definitely a fan favorite amongst the league members because, as y'all will see, this man here is just started iRacing and immediately jumped into league racing, which is kind of foreign. Usually people go through official, but I believe every single start that he's had has been with us, and so he's a big favorite in grassroots racing, and just watching him grow and learn. I know he's reached out a few times, and I think we're going to start scheduling some practices with him. Just so that way he can help get better on pace. But you see it in qualifying. When he's out by himself, he does pretty good, which I think is going to work for his benefit here tonight.
For For sure. And I can definitely say, just watching throughout the season, number 88, David, he's made a lot of really big strides. I know for a fact myself, if I just immediately tried to jump into driving in a league race, it would not be pretty. It would not be nearly as successful. So it definitely shows to his determination in iRacing and in the league, and wanting to be a part of it all. We are going to jump on over to number 10, Colton Keller, who is holding in third place. And again, he is a newcomer. This is his breakout race with Grassroots Racing. So we're going to watch and tune in and see how he's doing so far.
Yeah, wish we got the mic set up so we could talk to these drivers tonight. We were frantically trying to get this stuff together. But yes, this is a brand new league member here trying out some of our special events. Again, this is what these are for, is to get everyone involved. And I'm just happy that he came out tonight, and he's holding down third place, and hopefully waiting for something to happen up there. If you check over onto the leaderboard, you can see that Willis has slowed down a little bit, probably just keeping pace and watching Scott drive. That's a good tactic to have there. And I see that we have Kevin Green still here.
Yep, so we'll hop on over to check in on Kevin, and then we will jump back up to our front line to check in on Scott and Willis. But for right now, we're going to tune in to number 3, Kevin, as he's making his way around the track. I believe this is Kevin's first race with us as well.
Our man Scott will let us know. Or Samuel, I'm sorry.
Yes, let us know in the chat, Samuel, if you happen to remember if this is Kevin's first race or not.
Yeah, the trick with these trucks, just a little bit more insight, is that momentum that we talked about early, but not having too much because they do not like being thrown around. I feel like with the ARCA cars, you can really feel the weight in the wheels and everything. These trucks, they feel like if you ever held a book outside in the wind when you were driving, it feels like that. Anytime you get a wind change or dirty air or, draft or whatnot, it really yanks the truck around a lot. It's a unique feeling, and that's why that's on this race is on the roster here. Just a little bit of a challenge for everybody, like you've seen in the Daytona road course. We had a couple of guys that never have even been off of an oval. All they've done is asphalt oval, and we put them on a road course in their in their NASCARs. It was interesting.
Thanks, Sam. We were also thinking the same thing, but we got a lot going on. We're trying to get the news set up, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't out here lying to people. So I appreciate you fact checking. All right, so we're gonna tune in to number 5, Scott, see how he's doing up there. Not too far behind him, we do have Willis in second. As Dalton said, he's kind of just taken a little bit of a step back. We have a lot of laps to go in this race tonight. It is not an end-all be-all to get that positioning right this second. They're probably going to have to pit. So it's a pretty smart move, in my opinion, that Willis is just taking a step back. Not that number 5 Scott is making a bad move by staying ahead, but definitely a smart move on Willis's part.
No, and Scott can attest to this, that I've put him in this situation quite a bit, especially on these long tracks when we first started racing, because if you've never raced with anybody, it's a little difficult to tell what they're going to do. So just sitting there and watching them, and he actually called me out on it one time. I think we were at Daytona or somewhere, and he said, "I know you were back there watching me," and I was like, "Yes, that's exactly what was going on." So that's probably what's happening here, is just trying to get the rhythm. Maybe even trying to do some mirror driving, which is you want to match the same line as the guy in front of you, because he's evidently doing something good if he's in first place.
That's interesting because I actually haven't heard it been called mirror driving. So essentially, you're just trying to emulate the same moves that the car ahead of you is doing. What is the difficulty in that? Do you ever feel yourself like when you're doing mirror driving where you get off pace a little bit because you're so focused on the driver in front of you?
You're going to hit what you're looking at is the most dangerous part of it. Um, if you're sitting there focused on the truck in front of you and something happens, maybe he brakes, there's no taillights in here. There's no indicators that guy is slowing down, except that he's getting close really fast. And that's where most of the accidents happen is, the guy behind him is watching the guy in front of him too much. And you're going to hit what you're looking at is the best way I can put it.
That makes sense. Thanks for that insight. As we're going around the track here, I do agree. Number 5, Scott, is driving very well tonight. He's keeping it clean, keeping it steady. He is missing car number 99, Sam. Sam, you're being missed out there on the track tonight. I think number 73 is also being missed as well. But we're still having a good time watching as we have some newcomers in the league right now. Does look like number 3, Kevin, took a pit stop. So we're going to key in on him for just a moment. See as he came back out on the track. Not sure if there was an incident or he just needed to kind of break and reset. So we're going to tune into him for just a bit, and then we'll kind of make our way back down the roster up to first. Sam, enjoying watching your 2 students. I love it.
Yeah, no, me and Sam had advised this plan to let Scott get some practice. That's all this is, because we will be at Charlotte again in the ARCA cars. And, if you've been watching this pretty frequently, the top 3, and it's not to take away from anybody else, but the top 3 contenders is me, Samuel, and Scott, and
Okay, so we did have a little bit of a wipeout there. Not complete loss of control, but it looks like he just stayed too heavy on that throttle, came in too high, and hit the sidewall a little bit. Maybe Dalton can kind of go into some more of the technical aspects of what just happened there.
not entirely. Thank you for putting me on the spot.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say there. Like I said, these trucks are difficult to drive. They're not the easiest, but when you get it right, it's super satisfying, and it's very intense. That's what I enjoyed about it whenever I was practicing this and testing this out for these guys. We put a lot of effort in up front to make sure that it's at least manageable, but also entry level friendly. And these trucks were on that fence. The ARCA cars, I feel like, are very easy to understand, hard to master kind of thing. And with these trucks, it's a different breed, and you can see that tonight with Kevin out here tonight.
For sure. It looks like he has some good runs. He cleans up and then kind of, it wavers a little bit. But I do see that number 88, David, is in the pit. So we're going to hop on over, see what's going on there. Not quite sure. We are at lap 27 of 75. Maybe a little bit soon for a pit stop, but we can see it also looks like right behind him we have number 10, Colton Keller. I think he just got a little bit over in on the apron. Oh, Looks like he may be pitting as well now, but David is going to come back out and join back in the race.
That looks like that might have been a little mishap. He came down on the apron from getting into the wall right there. I think that's what we've seen with Keller. As we go on, because 30 laps is a lot of laps at 160 miles an hour, the tires are probably tapering off, and they're not being too nice to them because we're all rookies, so we're learning as we go that tire management is a thing, and when they start falling off real bad, that's whenever you get into the wall and whatnot. And I think that's what we just seen right there. As we see David, number 88, there's a little bump there on turn 4, and that's what got him right there. And that's unfortunate.
Oof. Yeah, I was not aware there was a bump. So even if they're having trouble, with the trucks tonight, that's going to be a continuing issue on Friday night with that same bump. So I think it's good practice. It's also giving them good insight on the tire wear, because those tires are just being ate through tonight as they go around this huge speedway track. So we are going to key in on over to back to number 5, Scott. We're going to go jump back to the front, see how he's doing, and then we'll kind of run back through our roster here in just a moment.
Yeah, Samuel pointed out that it is about time for them tires to get tired. Dad joke of the night. But they are starting to get wore out. So if they weren't nice to them for the first 30 laps, they are definitely looking at putting new ones on, or an unexpected quick repair, which is they only get 2 of them. This race is set up like our normal points racing, where you only get 2 sets of tires and 2 quick repairs. The quick repairs are shorter times in the pit, so you can get back out there on the race. Say you had an accident or whatnot that was, an accident. You can quickly get out there, but you only get 2 times that you can do that. And then after that, you're going to have to sit in the pit until they're fixed and whatnot. And we're going to start seeing that from our unlucky drivers that burn through their first set of tires this early. As we can see, Scott, this isn't as detailed as it is in our cars, so it's kind of hard to tell how fast he is going, if he has slowed down, which he probably has, because he has gained a substantial lead on wheelies, because like we were talking about the tires, an unexperienced driver or a rookie driver is going to have a harder time knowing what to do on old tires.
Definitely, that's some good insight, because it does look like number 5 Scott and number 54 Willis, they have not pitted yet for new tires, so they're trying to hang in as long as they can. Sam has a good point, pointing out in the chat that Scott's pace will let him go a few more laps, hoping that that's the same case for Willis, but we'll kind of wait and see.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, if I was in Scott's position, I definitely would be easing off the throttle every lap and seeing if that relative number, which is the negative number in second place there, if it keeps climbing, it means that the guy behind me is doing the same thing, letting off the throttle a little bit and trying to slow down. Probably not on purpose. Again, the tires are getting old. My interest now is if Scott is going to take a pit tonight or not. I, again, don't recall if they need to get gas, which is a area that I struggle with anyway. I'd run it till it's empty and push it across the finish line if I was out in front of Samuel.
We love the competitive edge, the competitive spirit there. Is it the smartest approach? Maybe not, but I understand.
Well, the driving we had in Bristol, they would have pushed me across the line. I got bumped around out there that day.
That is true. I do remember that. There was a little bit it was a really close, on a short track. There wasn't a lot of room to move. So, of course, there was a little bit of bumping here and there. Oh, and we did see number 5, Scott. He lost control a little bit there, kind of dipped down into the apron. So those tires are getting a little tired.
It's not funny the second time around.
I still thought it was.
Anyway, what I think we, what I think we've seen right there is Colton just trying to get back on a lead lap. Unfortunately, with this least amount of drivers and whatnot, we're not going to have the cautions that we thought we were going to see. I think the trucks scared off most of our people. Now that I sit here and think about it, they are difficult to drive, but that's okay. So what he is trying to do was get back on lead lap, probably on he is on newer tires than Scott is, and Scott was trying to get out of his way. You seen that earlier. He was letting him take it on the inside, so that way he gave him the room, but he just wasn't on the pace to get around Scott, and I don't think Scott wanted to slow down, which there's nothing wrong with that. If Scott is paying attention to his relative right now, he is doing great. The only thing that he has to worry about is traffic coming back around him on the brand new tires, as we see number 88 come into frame. Yes, Samuel, there is lucky dogs tonight, but we got to have a yellow flag. And with 5 drivers on the track, it's going to be kind of difficult to get that come out.
We are indeed halfway through the race now. We do see number 88, David. He's trying to get around Scott to get back on, gain some. David does have fresher tires, so he's doing pretty good, and he does come back around.
Yeah, and that's evidence right there is that he can go around the outside. Samuel has seen that before on one of our short track races where he tried a different pit strategy than everybody else, and we were able to take the high side. You need better tires to go up there and hold the momentum, as we do see Scott come in. The interesting part is, okay, Willie's does come in and to the pits as well with him. So, it comes down to, is Scott going to get all 4 tires, which he probably will. There's a bunch of different things that could happen right now.
Love that we have someone out there cheering for Willis again. Thanks for tuning in, Andrew. Glad to have you here. We do have number 5, Scott, in the pits right now. So we're actually going to take a peek at number 10, Colton Keller, on his breakout race tonight with Grassroots Racing, as he is coming around, making it back on lead lap. Even though we are on a large track tonight, obviously there is some time down when they're in the pits.
Yeah, and that's a good observation right there, is that Colton is coming around and he's going to carry the momentum, and Scott is coming out of the pits at the same time. So right here we're going to see a slight battle for first place. Maybe not. Got too excited there for a second. We see the relative start going back up as we switch over to Scott. And we will see that he got right back on pace. He's got brand new tires. He can't get too excited because, there is such a thing as cold tires now. As we see Kevin Green, he does forfeit the race, unfortunately. Willis went down 1 lap. I'm not sure what happened there. Colton does have front right damage, which does affect the aero. This is a simulation, so it does affected, but I've found sometimes that front end damage makes me a little bit faster.
What do you mean by that? What do you think the logic is behind front end damage actually making you a little bit faster?
Less drag and less care. Once my truck's already tore up or my car's already tore up, I don't care. I'm going to drive harder, and especially if I'm coming down, Colton can make a comeback right here. It's going to be a little difficult because Scott has held the pace the whole time. Yeah, I'm giving secrets away. This is why I can't commentate. No, Colton has a chance here if he holds steady, even with that damage in the front end. If he tucks under Scott and have a last lap battle, it could be close.
All right, so Scott's holding it steady there in first place. We do have number 10 Colton not too terribly far behind him. Needs clean air from Scott. So we're going to key in over here, see how he's doing. You do see that front damage on the truck there. And then it looks like number 54, Willis, is back kind of middle of the pack there. So we're going to check in on him here in just a sec. So he's holding steady. We also see number 88, David, trying to get back on lead lap, making up some ground, making up some time there. Ooh, and we did see Willis cut down into the apron there. So that was a little bit tough on that turn.
Yeah, he had his moment there. Truck number 54 got a little excited. You probably seen David coming in his rearview mirror. Again, don't know how much they're paying attention to their little relatives or whatnot, but you see a car come in, you either get out of the way or get ran over, and I think that's one of them examples that he was trying to get out of the way, got a little excited. As we see, David came back. It said he was out for a second. I didn't know if he had dropped for a minute. But as you could see that he kept good control over it, kept it out of the wall, but that's one of those times where you're overworking the tires and it's just another thing that you have to worry about. As we see Keller actually holding 4 seconds right behind Scott, which it looks like a lot, but it really isn't, but it is all in the same time. If he just holds steady and waits for Scott to make a mistake or something, as we come down with 29 laps to go, you can see in Keller's frame there for a minute that Scott is up there holding steady. I think right now what we're going to see is both trucks' tires are going to get wore out, and we're going to start hopefully seeing it get a little closer.
Yeah, hopefully we do see it come a little bit closer. I'm going to check in on Scott up there in front. But I do think I can agree with Samuel. We're going to see that same tire wear on Friday. I think a big thing, just to point out kind of qualifying times of what we're looking at right now, is these drivers are learning how to pace. So in qualifying, they just run out. They go as fast as they can to get that positioning in the starting lineup. For example, Colton, and then kind of right behind him, Scott, we had a 31.9. But now to hold steady, to keep pace, we're running about a 33 just to kind of preserve some of the tires, keep the fuel levels good. So definitely going to take some skill and strategic planning for Friday.
Yeah, you have qualifying pace and you have race pace. And right now what you're seeing is race pace. In qualifying, you got 2 laps to come out and give it the best you got. And then you've seen that out of Scott as he got pole position tonight. But as the race goes on, you'll see that number get a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger, just from tires and driver fatigue. You're doing the same thing for 75 laps. Yeah, Scott is definitely a great driver out here tonight. Not taking away from anybody. Everybody's doing a great job. Again, this is a learning process, putting him in something different. And on stage, something I can attest to, that being live on YouTube is a different feeling than just, crashing out on officials. You got an added layer of pressure. So, they're all doing really good. As we see Keller, he's kind of started to taper off there for a little bit, but it comes back down to tire wear. And as Samuel was pointing out, that we're going to see the same thing in the ARCA cars. This is a pretty high bank, but it's not crazy, and that's where you get a lot of lateral G's on the tires, which wear them out. And there's several different lanes here. Fun fact, this is where I got my first iRacing official win, was at Charlotte.
Love that little shout out, kind of a self plug there on the first win, but it's going to be very exciting. I do think we have a lot of drivers that prefer or really like the long track, so They may be giving you a run for your money Friday night.
You mean they're gonna bully me? They're gonna team up and they're gonna bully me until they get around me.
I mean, maybe. No, I think a lot of our drivers tonight, it's playful competition, but everybody, while they are wanting to be competitive and drive a good race, I do think we've got a really good league running here. Everybody gets along pretty well. I've been calling our legacy league members, those that have started in season 1, continuing on into season 2, are really good at working together. They just want to have fun. They just want to give advice and let people learn. So, I think we're going to start winding down for season 2 with our next 2 races, our last 2 races of the season. Doing really good.
Nice. I don't think I've raced at Dega too much. He's talking about Talladega, except for the couple times that we've been here. Yeah, I started looking at different cars, that we want to get into the mix for iRacing or for grassroots racing. Because like we were talking about earlier in the live stream that, we're following the natural progression of being in our ARCA cars and whatnot, and then we'll start branching out. So, those of you that are on, GC Racing's YouTube and everything and following along, I'm sure you'll start seeing some different things come along. I'm excited for the trucks. I've never driven the Ram trucks or the Toyotas or anything like that. I've only driven these and the ARCA cars. So I'm excited. I know one of them is the late models. I'm looking excited for because I'm a short track guy. But also the 87s. The 87s NASCAR Cup cars, I think that would be really interesting. Maybe a special event for them one time. Just a throwback to the old days of NASCAR. As we come down to 19 laps. Sorry, got on a little ramble.
All good. It's easy to do over here. They hear me every week going off on my tangents, and I'm the certified yapper of the group. So this is new for you, but definitely easy to do. So we are on lap number 19. We're going to key in over on number 88, David, and then kind of make our way back through, see how he's doing. So it looks like he's still running clean, dipped down a little bit, but he stayed steady. He did not cut into the apron on that turn. It looks really good. Oh, but we did get it on that one. Looks like he actually may be going in for a pit or kind of just a restart. But looked really good there for a second. I do think this is such a difficult track.
No, yeah, talking about David, and this is another plug. We'll be dropping our YouTube videos over him, and once y'all watch his video, y'all will understand why we sing his praises so much. Some of the guys that have had a chance to talk to him or whatnot can attest to it. He's an amazing person, just, learning, wanting to be a part of it, and doing everything he can, as you could see that tonight. He's probably just getting some practice. I know I would chalk this race up as practice run for Friday night. He was talking to me the other day. He said, I really want to win. And I told him, I said, even if I got to push you across there, we'll get you a win. And we're going to work on something together. Like I said, y'all will see the YouTube video here shortly. Finishing up, I think it's Scott's right now. Samuels is getting done as well. So you'll hear single-handedly from these guys and why they're here.
For sure. So we're going to key in on over on number 54, Willis. I agree, Lamar, though. David is definitely getting better. We're seeing a lot of good progress, really, from all of our drivers. Definitely learning a lot, learning from each other. So that was kind of the whole point and the whole goal of the league. But as we watch number 54, Willis, go around, he's looking pretty good. I do think they're having a tough time just because there is so much space in between. But they're doing really solid. I think it's also just good practice for Friday night. Overall, there's nothing wrong with it. It's good practice for Friday night so they can best learn the course and prepare.
Yeah, that's why it's a little bit of setup like that, because we were switching from short track to your much longer speedways. So tonight was a little, test the waters, see if you could hang in there. I don't remember if we raced here last time or not. Our first season, a lot's happened since then. But Willis is one of those guys that came in with Samuel and came in with very little experience. I believe the first conversation that we all had is that he came from playing like F1 and whatnot. So this is a learning curve for him. He has definitely grown. Like I said, he's ran into me a couple of times and he's done very well and all that. It's just getting that pace and the side of NASCAR that nobody really talks about. It's just turning left is what everybody says. But you heard us talk about it all night tonight, that tire management, pit strategies, and different things come into play. And that's the learning curve of oval here, and he is taking a very good shot at learning all of this.
Absolutely. With just 12 laps to go, we're going to key in on number 10, Colton Keller, for just a sec. And then we'll probably jump back to Scott as we finish out the race. There might be someone that comes up and gives him a little bit of a race here tonight.
Yeah, as you can see, they probably went in for the pit and hoping that Scott does the same thing. I highly doubt it with him being out a lap in front of everybody else. But we're right back to that part where if you had pitted halfway through the race, that your tires are starting to feel very loose. And that's probably what's going on. As we see that he got his damage fixed, so that does tell us that he went into the pits. We were over here yapping that we didn't pay any mind to it. So he did go into the pits, and that's why he was down a lap. So he's probably coming out and swinging for the fences, which is a strategy all on its own. I know I've come back at least on to lead lap a couple of times, but either way we get through there. So it's going to be a little difficult to see how close he is to Scott, but we'll probably switch over to Scott. We don't have a whole lot to say on Mr. Keller here. This is his first race. We're glad to have him. Hopefully he sticks in there, and I have a feeling that the ARCA car is going to be a better turnout than the trucks were, because the trucks were a steep learning curve that some of the guys, us being rookies, weren't ready for, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
For sure. So we're going to jump back over to Scott with just 9 laps to go. I do think, the special community events are, the whole goal is that we do have some members in the league that maybe aren't exactly rookies, but wanted to join as we grow and progress as a league for maybe future seasons. So these races are also just designed to get everybody involved if they would like to be. But we are, like I said, wrapping up season 2. We have 2 more races to go. Our next one being this Friday, or 3 more races to go. My apologies. 3 more races to go. Our next one being this Friday, again, back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but back in those ARCA cars. And then we are in the process of planning our season 3. We are going to take a little bit of a break, but in the process of planning season 3. So number 73 did call it out earlier in the stream. In the description, we do have a way to best support the league to allow us a better season, a longer season, give these drivers some more practice time. So if you feel inclined to support, you're more than welcome to do so. If you want to join in on the action, you can definitely join the Discord link as well. We have some that are just spectators that just want to hang out with the drivers and join in each night.
Yeah, she went on her ramble there. No, yeah, she said it all perfectly. We're still growing. We're still learning. You see our regulars here. I know Lamar can attest to that he's seen all of these drivers here and seen all of them grow. So the reason why I bring him up is it's also our fans that make us want to get up here and turn the computers on and do all this stuff for you. Like I said, this is just a passion project. One day I woke up and I was like, hey, you want to build computers and do a whole bunch of extra stuff after work? And she was like, no, but then we did it anyway. But no, we're just happy that everybody's here as we come down to 6 laps. We've got Scott hopefully I'm gonna talk my smack here for a second. Probably the first and last time that he'll see first place at Charlotte this week.
Ooh, shots fired. The gauntlet has been thrown.
I'm just saying, I ran a 30 out here unpracticed when everybody was upset about the trucks.
We love a little friendly competition. And I do think you also got to watch out. Number 99 is going to be back Friday, so definitely have that coming into play.
That's true. That's true. No, it's all jokes. It's all fun and games. You know, we're here to have fun. We can only watch Scott go around the track so many times and not fall asleep. But no, having Samuel and Scott in the rear view mirror definitely makes it a challenge. Any of them, really. And again, just a little plug. You'll see the videos come out here very shortly. And everybody says the same thing pretty much. I know David and he definitely dropped the hint that he doesn't want to see either of the brothers in his rearview mirror, and I told him the same thing, that it's not a good time whenever they get there. But seeing anybody in your rearview mirror is definitely something you don't want to see. You want to be out far enough where you don't have to worry about it. It's a good time every time we come out. I can tell you, in the 6 months or 5 months that I've been racing, iRacing, every time I leave our league races, there's a sense of accomplishment. I don't ever walk away mad. I don't ever walk away frustrated or sit there and think of a issue that had happened. And I can tell you right there, that's what keeps me wanting to do this, because I know we've got a good set of guys out here. Yeah, that's why we need y'all to donate so we can get Lamar in here.
For sure. That's too funny. But no, we're having a great time with this. We love doing it. And we are just 2 laps to go. So we are coming down to the wire. Scott's holding in first.
Yeah, super exciting racing out here tonight. It's super close. I don't know who's gonna take it. It's really up in the air. Samuel could just throw it into the wall, or Scott could just throw it into the wall if he wanted to, and we could give Colton his first win here at Grassroots Racing. But no, I'm proud of everybody that showed up tonight. I know it's not the turnout that we wanted it to be, but that's okay. We will continue on. Friday night is going to be exciting either way. It's the second to last in points, and the way we have the scoring set up here this season it's a lot closer than it needs to be, as Samuel comes across your finish line in first place. Sorry.
Whoop, let's go. And it was Scott that came across the finish line tonight. That's okay. I get it. Foreshadowing, he said. But great job tonight to our racers. Great job to those that tuned in. We always appreciate you guys coming in and giving us some chat, giving us something to work with. We love talking to you all, and that you come in to support your people. Super wholesome that you guys turn in for that. Ooh, a safe drive tomorrow night, Lamar. We hope all goes well. We do see number 5 Scott celebrating over there that win. So we're, unfortunately, as mentioned earlier, we are working on a new setup, always trying to improve over here. So we aren't able to tune in and talk with the drivers tonight, but the goal, hopefully, is that we can get that revised and set up for Friday night's race so we can talk to anybody. Right now we do see Scott doing a wall burnout, so love to see it. Love that he's out there celebrating. All right. So as we round out, we're going to jump on over to our end screen here. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. If you don't mind just hanging out for just a moment, we're going to button up a couple of things, and then we will do our official outro here shortly.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody that showed up to race and watch. Like she said, it's definitely gives us something to work with, as she's just working on letting the drivers know that unfortunately we aren't able to talk to them tonight, but we will do better on our end. I don't know if it looks better for you guys, but we put a lot of effort into making it look better. That's why there was a couple of audio adjustments and whatnot. And we will steadily continue working and making sure that everybody gets an enjoyable experience. As they enter the Discord already talking to each other. It's great. No, we have a good community. And again, this is the last time I'm going to mention it, that, you'll see the YouTube videos come out. And I really appreciate everybody. You don't get to hear from me a whole lot. You've got the missus over here doing all the hard work. And we always appreciate that. And I personally appreciate everybody that shows up to watch these things and, and get involved and whatnot. It's definitely grown to something that I didn't think it would, but I'm having a good time as long as y'all are. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to leave you with Mo.
Thanks for that sign off. Good night, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Lamar, definitely have a safe drive tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to watch. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Join our Discord to get in on the action. And a big thank you to our drivers, our fans that tune in for the live stream, as well as our sponsors, Gypsy Soul Knives, Nielsen Knives, GC Racing, CXT, and our newest sponsor this season, S&S Hot Rods. Thanks, everybody, and have a great night.